one femto frame at a time. But of course, our eye sees an integral composite. But if you look at this tomato one more time, you will notice as the light washes over the tomato, it continues to glow. It doesn't become dark. Why is that? Because the tomato is actually ripe, and the light is bouncing around inside the tomato, and it comes out after several trillionths of a second. So in the future, when this femto camera is in your camera phone, you might be able to go to a supermarket and check if the fruit is ripe without actually touching it. So how did my team at MIT create this camera? Now, as photographers, you know, if you take a short exposure photo, you get very little light. But we're going to go 1 billion times faster than your shortest exposure. So you're going to get hardly any light. So what we do is we send that bullet, those packet of photons, millions of times and record again and again with very clever synchronization. And from the gigabytes of data, we computationally weave together to create those femto videos I showed you. And we can take all that raw data and treat it in very interesting ways. So Superman can fly. Some other heroes can become invisible. But what about a new power for a future superhero? To see around corners. The idea is that we're going to shine some light on the door. It's going to bounce, go inside the room. Some of that are going to reflect back on the door and then back to the camera. And we're going to exploit this multiple bounces of light. And it's not science fiction. We have actually built it. On the left, you see our femto camera. There's a mannequin hidden behind a wall, and we're going to bounce light off the door. So after our paper was published in Nature Communication, it was highlighted by Nature.com, and they created this animation. We're going to fire those bullets of light, and they're going to hit this wall. And because of the packet of the photons, they will scatter in all the directions, and some of them will reach our hidden mannequin, which in turn will again scatter that light. And again, in turn, the door will reflect some of that scattered light. And a tiny fraction of the photons will actually come back to the camera, but most interestingly, they will all arrive at a slightly different time slot. And because we have a camera that can run so fast, our femto camera, it has some unique abilities. It has very good time resolution, and it can look at the world at the speed of light. And this way we know the distances, of course, to the door, but also to the hidden objects, but we don't know which point corresponds to which distance. By shining one laser, we can record one raw photo, which you look on the screen doesn't really make any sense. But then we're going to take a lot of such pictures, dozens of such pictures, put them together, and try to analyze the multiple bounces of light. And from that, can we see the hidden object? Can we see it in full 3D? So this is our reconstruction.